Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Untitled Alter History's Wacky Ideologies. This is episode 43, Conservative Socialism. Now, the very bare bones definition of conservative socialism is pretty simple. Conservative values influenced by socialism because capitalism leads to the destructions of those values, so a socialist society is the best way to preserve those values that conservatives pride over so much. Basic definition. Now, listen here to me. There are a million forms of socialism, and I'm going to give the most common, basic one. So, the most basic definition of socialism is a worker state. It allows the workers to own the means of productions without having the authoritarianism as communism or having to redistribute everything. You get what you work for. And that's the first belief of conservative socialism, is that everyone gets what they work for. So workers' unions form up and they join the party. This is the primary belief of conservative socialism, kind of what everything else banks on, is that the workers work together and there's no bosses trying to meet demands, so the workers can spend time with their family and pass on family traditions instead of having to work 20 hours. And that's the second kind of thing that conservative socialists pride the most, is family. They all love their family. And because they don't have those 90-hour work days, they are able to spend time with their family. And hence, in a capitalist society where they wouldn't be able to pass on family traditions with the cats and the cradle and the silver spoon, in a socialist society, they would, because they have time off, and they absolutely hate capitalism. The reason they hate capitalism so much, besides the whole family thing, is they also believe that it pushes away from the workers, making cultural differences between the classes, and then you can't really have a defining definition of conservatism. You have multiple definitions, and that just gets too messy, and it breeds hate among the working class to each other. Now, they absolutely despise pink capitalism. Being culturally right-wing and economically left, and pink capitalism being the reverse of that, they hate it more than the Nazbols do. This is because it primarily goes against their main beliefs, and they feel like that corporations, by making the pride logos and pride shirts, is actively breeding contention between them and the youth, and that breaks conservatism and their values. As for authoritarian-wise, they lean pretty heavy into INGSOC and National Socialism. Because of this, it's kind of seen as a huge radical movement, but in actuality, they want a more authoritarian state to control that their values get passed on. And because socialism is the best way to pass it on, an authoritarian government is the second best way. So combine the two and you have a great workers' party. But don't worry, they do have democratic elections, where most businesses follow democratic elections. And it's simple, like, hey, who wants to be your CEO? John Smith, congratulations, you got the most votes, you're the CEO. Have fun for 1 month and then probably get removed. And this is the same with the government. So yes, there is a one-party state, but it's more open. Lastly, there is a real-life country. East Germany is a pretty conservative socialist state, even though it was more conservative communism. And there's tons of parties, but they had working democracies. Even when they reunited with the West, they were more conservative than the West was, and you can see that in the voting records today. But this is the primary example of conservative socialism. Woo! Another video done. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Pretty fun to make. Make sure to like and subscribe if you liked it. And yeah, thank you guys so much. You should probably join the Discord. I'm gonna probably do an advertisement for that in the next video because the Discord's kind of stopped growing ever since I stopped promoting it. So I hope you guys like and subscribe. And yeah, see you in the next one. Have a good one. Thanks to our Patreon supporters. We don't have a Patreon. I don't know why I did that. Anyways, click the video on the left if you want to see my most recently uploaded video. Click the video on the right if you're feeling a little random and you want YouTube to pick for you. Anyways, have a good one, and the 3 seconds are up. Goodbye!